Presenters are Shivam Patil, Harsh Panchal, and Shravya Karutari from second year who will present their SEM3 work on project topic Community Activity Center.
Hello, Harsh. You can present.
So our project is Community Activity Center, which is located in Nasik alongside the Godavari River, with Greenfield Law as our immediate context. For the user's requirement, we classified the activities with the space requirement according to the users. For the zoning, we classified the minimum noise zone and the maximum noise zone basic structures accordingly. That is, the meditation space and library are placed in the minimum noise zone. The food court is located right beside the entrance so that it is easily accessible for the people on the road. The toilet block is located at the east side of the plot because the foul smell will not enter the main structure and will flow away from the structure according to the annual wind flow. So for the form development, we started with the inverted roof, which is open at the top, so that it allows the people inside to connect with the surrounding and also for good ventilation. We provided a semi-open space in between the two spaces for circulation and also for connectivity. Then we converted the roof into a curve to provide continuity in the structure and also provide a semi-open space in between. Then we scribbled some waveforms and then came into final conclusion of the structure so that it also matches with the site context of Godavari River. We converted these straight walls into a curve so that it matches the site context of Godavari River. For the design strategies of meditation space is open from all the sides for maximum ventilation, and also it provides an openness, a feeling of openness while meditating. For the design strategies of gym and library, we incorporated a jali wall which is open at the top so that it will help in wind flow, and also curved roof has more surface area and hence cooled easily. For the site plan, this is the site plan, and there are two entrances, main entrance and a pedestrian entrance. This is the zoomed in version of the plan. For the roof plan, we connected the gym and meditation space with a roof, with two inverted roof and an upward roof connecting the two inverted roof. These are the site sections.
This is the plan of the mini library. The entrance is from the northern side. There is a glass partition between the admin desk and the reading space. So when one enter or exit, they have to pass through admin desk as a matter of security. The main book storage is on the eastern side of the library. The central space is consists of reading area with three computer units integrated with the lounge. An external sitting space is provided with a newspaper stand. The plan of the gym. The entrance is on the eastern side. The southern part is allotted for the changing room and the locker room. The central part consists of three equipments provided with a floor workout space. Meditation space is an open space as per the requirement of the user and has the minimum furniture use with the meditation mat in the center of the space. The following slide shows the different section of the structure. So this one explaining the different activities taken throughout the structure. This section is through library and meditation space. So this is a section through gym and the meditation space. These are the cross sections of the library and the gym.
This is the floor plan of food court. Food court kitchen, which is on the left hand side of the plan, is divided into two areas, dry and wet. And also on the right hand side, we have provided sitting so that user can have their meal over there. We have provided a ramp so that handicap can also access to food court. This is the section of food court in which it is clearly seen the platform and the sitting area. This is the toilet plan in which we have provided separate toilet for male, female and handicap. Handicap toilet block is in between with a ramp. Male toilet block at south side with urinal and female toilet block at north side. This is the section of the toilet block. This is reception area which is located in the center of the structure as it is easily accessible from gym, library and meditation space.
This is the cycle stand which is located right at the entrance so that people can easily access it. And there is a cycling track all around the site in the form of wave, so it matches the site context. This is the stage which is in between the library and the gym for multi-purpose activities. These are the elevations. For the vegetation, we provided flowering trees light alongside the jogging track, neem tree to protect the library from direct sunlight. For the material, we used ferro cement for the curved roof and we used CSEV blocks for the vaults. So it is suitable for hot and dry region and also is very sustainable. It's a load-bearing structure and we have steel frames. These are some of the landscape details. We provided an undulating surface right between the jogging track so that people can sit and read. These are some of the views. This is the walkthrough.
Look.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shravya, Shivam, and Harsh for your wonderful presentation. Up next, we have Purva Rane from third year, who will be showcasing her SEM 5 work on the project topic Ethnic Food Bazaar. I request Purva to share her screen.
Good evening, everyone. Our topic for semester 5 was an ethnic food bazaar. Here we go. Starting with our site, the site which was located in Kharghar sits on a traffic island and is situated in the vicinity of Central Park, 119 hectares park which spreads across city's three sectors. A place designated for morning walks, games, and performances is a huge green canvas which sits in the front yard of our site. The site is in close vicinity to Pandavkada, a waterfall which flows down from the Belapur Hills, which is an offset of the Parsik Hills in Thane district. The site is flanked by a residential zone on roughly three of its sides. So, as a response to the landscape in front of the site, a sloping approach to the building was found appropriate so as to absorb the light and color that the front of the site is going to emit, such that the people on every level would be able to experience the beautiful surrounding of the site thoroughly. Because my initial idea was to respond to the central park, I've decided to have a staircase which not only acts as a service provider but also as a unique architectural element which would stand out in the elevation. So my expected transition of the user was from an open parking lot to through a dark security checkup and then to a semi-open shaded area, so that when they get lifted, they can experience the surrounding of the site visually as well as sensually. The addition of eateries in this elevation enhanced the entire process of transition. The tree and the sitting space beneath also ensured lateral movements. You can see how the introduction of the tree has changed the nature of the space beneath, making it appropriate to function as a dhaba because of its easy accessibility from the road. So coming to my zoning, so the rear end of the site was laid for the service block, the admin block divided into two, so that one can cater to administration of the retail shops and other for administration of the restaurants. The retail shops were divided into three floors: ground, first, and the second floor. The restaurants were then divided onto the ground, second, and third floor. On the ground floor to function as a dhaba, on the top floor to function as to absorb the entire view of the site, and then on the second floor I'll come to the restaurant on the second floor, but I'll explain the amphitheater first. So the amphitheater was important. It was important to pair the amphitheater with the congregation space, so that people could gather before a ceremony. Also to distinguish the activities of this congregation space and amphitheater from the amphitheater in the central park, which is also huge in scale. So my initial idea was to have a seamless merger between the restaurant and the amphitheater. But then as we moved ahead, I realized that the acoustics of the amphitheater might get affected because of this entire restaurant being an extensively recreational space. So we had to introduce a congregation space for public activities. So this is how the structural massing of the amphitheater and the congregation space happened at the end. So moving on. So this is what the final product looked like. Coming to my ground floor, the entrance of the site, the vehicular entrance is from the southeast end, which goes onto a 4.3 meter wide road, then leading onto the security checkup, and then dividing the path into two zones. One is the admin and other is the service block. And then on to the atrium, which is flanked by eateries on two of its sides. These eateries are connected with the atrium with a shop front. The highlight of this ground floor has to be the semi-open common seating, which is ahead of the on the which lies in the north, so as to have a merger between the built and the unbuilt. The creche merging with the landscape as a play area for children, and the admin strategically placed to coordinate the loading and unloading activities. These are the views from the point A and B, where you can see the semi-open sitting area and the eateries. So coming to the details of my eateries, it is divided into a preparation area and a cooking area, which is visible from the atrium, so that people in the shop front can see and smell their food while it is being made. This is what will hold the people in the shop front and will bring people from the atrium and alley to the shop front. These are the views of the food stalls. Moving on, the first floor, the amphitheater is accessible from the first floor. We have a segregation of the wet and dry market on the first floor, where you can see the congregation space rear to the amphitheater, the introduction of the wet market, and the congregation plus play corner, which is on the north end of the plan. These are the views from the point D, where you can see the congregation space double heighted. A view from point C, where you can see the staircases protruding out of the structure. So coming to my intervention in as a makeshift kitchen. So I observed and studied these 4 images, where all I could find common in all of these images was that all these vendors were trying to attract more and more customers. This is what is common in every entrepreneur. So all of them were making use of senses, such as hearing, in case of sugarcane vendor, where he puts the gunguru on the machine so that when you're in a market, you know where the sugarcane shop is. The mithai wala or the jalebi wala who sits out of his shop frying jalebis to attract more customers. So I came on to a final conclusion that there was a need of a makeshift kitchen, which is like an offspring to the main kitchen, and which also helps in public interaction, and which could be added with another set of allied activities for sitting and recreation. So moving on, so this was something that I came up with. The original prototype was supposed to be for a sweet shop, but it also gelled very well with the juice center alternative, where we have a corner makeshift kitchen, which is backed by 2 distributing areas and 1 main kitchen. The kitchen distributes the food into the display and storage area, and then to the central part, which acts as a makeshift kitchen and a common sitting in case of the juice center alternative. So this junction also acts as a attracting point in this entire scenario. So these are the views. Coming to my second floor, the second floor, you can see the eatery, the restaurant, which is overlooking the amphitheater. Here also, it is evident that the staircases which have been protruding now are not just stacked above one another, but have an offset of each other. You can also see the galleries which are coming out of the structure. So details of my retail shop. So this is the shop which opens up in the passage, in the 3.2 meter wide passage, the sectional view of the shop. Coming to the third floor, the third floor is entirely reserved for the restaurants, where you have a different range of seatings, from an open air dining to a semi-open and then to a closed air conditioned dining. Here also you can see the restaurants which are overlooking the amphitheater. So these are my axonometric views in details. Here you can see the massing of the staircases. This is final product. And coming to the sections, in the section you can see the eateries which are on the ground floor are having this linear shop front, which in elevation is getting lifted, becoming an eating stall also. The open air dining, the indoor seating, which is breaking the entire monolithic charge. The seating area, which is coming out of the structure, and the views from the opposite arm and the view from the corner. This is the transverse section where you can see the eating counters and the congregation space on the first floor. These are the construction details. This is the elevation where you can see all the congregation spaces, the dining areas, and the galleries. Thank you.
Thank you, Purva, for your amazing presentation. Next, we have Pooja Sawan, Vaibhav Panchal, and Zubair Khan from 5th year, who will be presenting their Sem 9 work on the project topic Redefining Office Spaces. I request them to present the screen.
Good afternoon, everyone. We would like to express our gratitude to our guide for always helping us throughout the project, Ms. Kavita Pradhan, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. We would also like to thank Senate for sharing this platform with us, an opportunity to present and look at different works. Thank you very much. So our project revolved around redefining workspace architecture with major attention given to the well-being of the users and considering the Mumbai's urban work culture. So now I would request my team member Zubair to present the screen. Morning jurors, myself Pooja Chavan and my team members Zubair Khan and Vaibhav Panchal would like to present our take on the AD Semester 9 design problem, starting off with understanding of the context. Since the site is located on a very crucial junction of two diverse neighborhoods of Airoli and Rabale, it has a good identity which has to be enhanced by making it as a landmark and adjoining the two binaries as a connective. The western edge of the site is very critical and of utmost significance, and hence that should be contributed to the public realm. The walkability can also be increased through this. We responded to the immediate neighborhood by respecting the mountain ranges behind and also studying the people's behaviors and blocking certain things which can bring the building out its best. Since the site had good vegetation, we thought of repositioning the trees which can be removed and building around the trees which cannot be. So we have built around 3 banyan trees, creating the views overlooking the slums in order to highlight the mountain ranges. Responding to the climate, since the orientation was restricted, the only thing can be done was to provide voids and punctures into the building in order to for the winds and the sun to penetrate in. The site and the context majorly demands for a non-conventional building and a recreational retreat where one can also work as well as enjoy. So the concept revolves around blending and blurring the site with its context so as to justify what is inside and what is outside. This can be done by replicating the mountain ranges behind, and also through the programs that we provide has to be very in connection with each other. The area program or the functional blending is done that every function is proximal to the spaces at an increasing level of privacy while moving on the top floors. For example, the public section, which is the Kya Bolti public, has all the public areas. Then there is the transitional section, local for vocal, where small scale businesses needs interaction with the people. Then there are shared working sections, which are the V works, and there is another transitional section where shared companies need interaction and motivation from the private companies. And then finally that is the Aapki Chhatra Chhaya Mein, and finally there is a private section or Bade Log, where only private companies have their individual floors or offices. This is how the blending of the form took place. We retained the vegetation and built around the courtyards, then masked it according to the area programs and replicated the hills behind, and came up with scooping strategies of how the courtyard can be connected to the outside, and finally redefining the form by giving it a look of staggered terraces in order to provide the views and projecting cubicles. Working spaces. So let me take you to the journey of our entire building. The road network is well divided from the pedestrian network. The courtyard well merges, starting from the entrance of the site to the other corner of the site. This is how the zoning took place. There the public amenities, which is the top, which is the front building, connects to the other public amenities inside using a small bridge, and there are different entry points and administration areas. One on the left is the office admin area. One on the right side is the admin area for the office for the working office people, and the front public amenities is directly accessed by the normal people. Living the service goes as it is. The cars are parked around and suffices all the requirements, including that of future expansion. The first staircase starts and it leads to the food court above, which is connected by a bridge to the franchise and shopping for the people. On the left side is the restaurant, which is also there on the ground floor, which is a property of both office as well as the people and can be accessed by both. And on the extreme left is the shared working space, which needs more interaction with the people. The food court opens up into the terrace, which is the first terrace of the building, and the water stream flowing from above. Taking the staircase, you will reach to the business convention area, and wherein you also have the gallery space and projecting terrace garden outside. Moving further, there is also an exhibition area which fits inside the double height space of the business convention area. Shared office space on the left and corporate office space on the right is connected by the amenity space, that is of work cafe, and the breakout space is along the circulation area, and intermediate staircases leads to intermediate breakout spaces, then staircases. And this is how the in-between spaces of the staircase are formed. Every staircase will lead you to another breakout space, and hence all the floors are connected to each other. The connecting bridge connects the public with the private by keeping it very secure. Continuing with the staircase, we are now on the floor where there is exhibition center, which was tucked inside the convention area. So the exhibition area is a triple height space which comes out into the terrace garden. The public amenities will now end into the major amenity area, which has different yoga and work indoor games area. Then the breakout area will lead you to different amenities such as workspace and the shared office space. This is a studio apartment wherein different practitioners can book a room or a studio for themselves. The amenity is provided as dormitories for people to night stay or work in the night time. The projecting out terraces of the public block and the convention center and the exhibition block, well connected, can be seen through this illustration. Every floor has the amenities area, which can be accessed by both shared and corporate working spaces, and which will also act as a connective catalyst between these both diverse kind of office spaces. There are breakout spaces created by these staircases. The staircase which starts from the ground floor connects all the amenities on the eastern side, and on the western side, which started from the public block, also connects all the amenities, and hence walking ahead you will find your office space. Since the floor plate was very massive, there are certain double height spaces created in order to penetrate the light and the wind inside of the office spaces. These are the voids, which are one double height and one overlooking it, found in the northeast block. The terraces are also well designed, which can be utilized for certain functions, informal working, and as a natural retreat for the employees. Since the terraces are staggering, you can find the every terrace is accessible only from one flight away from every floor, and which are also connected together very efficiently for the ease of circulation. The floor plates keeps on decreasing by making it more private in nature. Hence, on the upper floors, there are these. This is the other transitional zone which I had talked about in the area programs, and hence it becomes more private and interrelated to only the proximity that it needs. There are cubicles and the working spaces projecting out from this huge chunk of office spaces which can overlook the terraces access at any point of time, and the breakout spaces are not far away from the office spaces. Hence, every floor escapes on a terrace with green, which is very important for the well-being of the people. This is how the corporate and the shared office spaces are being connected to each other. Amenities on the lower floor and the breakout spaces in form of terraces and the lobby area is helps in further connection on the upper floors. In the northeast extreme block, we can see there are formation of voids. The voids are scooped as terraces or any breakout spaces, which this will not only bring the not lights within the interior of the office spaces, but also the winds along with it. It can also become a spill out space or informal working spaces for the employees. The on the 11th floor, we can see this is the last floor which also has a separate terrace with it, and has a work cafe along with it. It is also thought about that the future expansion would continue in the same manner for the private corporate office spaces, which will sit on the crown of this northeast tower, which is the last and which is the last part of the building, that is the top of the mountain ranges. Then this is a key plan which cuts three sections through it, AA, B dash and C dash. The continuous staircase which connects the ground to the upper grounds in form of terraces makes a person curious to lead to that terraces, and the walkability is not a pain anymore in spite the height of the building. This culmination of alternative mid landings of double height spaces makes it easy for interacting within different floors, and there is a visual connectivity as well as social interaction is increased between two different offices. Hence, this interior facade of the building is well connected to the courtyard and always remains active, as it gives a feeling of in between what is inside and what is outside. The in between space becomes like a space which is always active and in connection to the green outside. Right from the entry of the site, nice efforts have been taken to make a man connected to the nature as much as possible. Section of the vertical mass towards the south side which cuts through the entrance. The section shows how the public block has interconnected into the office block, and yet it remains secured, and only the public spaces which are to be accessed by the public are done, and there is no interference to the office spaces or their amenities. The entry is provided under the exhibition block with double height stilt, which gives a feeling of shrink and then into a open space like a courtyard. So the courtyard spills out and connects to the people on the street. The terraces are provided as upper grounds, hence it gives rise to very humane environments, and you doesn't feel any loss of connection from the street or the actual ground. The section to the west side clearly depicts that the elevation behind and the section is in clear tune and in rhythm with the mountain ranges behind, and it acts as a landmark or a very iconic building for the street viewers. Throughout the plans, it is clear that the building follows a proper 9 by 9 grid, and the construction method used is steel steel, and it uses columns, box sections of columns, and cascaded beams for the connections. The projections are RCC projections, which are the box windows, in order to provide the flower beds, while the basement is RCC. The building is aesthetically pleasing by one space merging into the other space very effectively, giving rise to good connection between the offices and the breakout spaces. Building is purely humane and gives a very nice experience by only looking at it, since it does not have any of the western influences which are greatly seen in other office buildings which are present in the context. The voids provided are marked and defined or framed using the box windows, which projects at different levels inside and outside, hence creating a very interesting facade. The building facades are very smooth and transitioned, giving a feeling of here-ness and there-ness. Hence, we created a building which is not only a business hub but also a nature's retreat or natural retreat, or maybe a recreational and enjoyment hub for the people who can work as well as enjoy, have fun, and stay connected to the much needed nature. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaibhav Panchal, Pooja Chavan, and Zubair Khan for your wonderful presentation. With this, we come to an end of today's episode. Team Pegasus express the gratitude for letting us host this event. I thank all the presenters for sharing their portfolio and design process with us. It was truly inspirational. I am also grateful to our faculty and fellow students for joining us in this event. Thank you all, and let's meet next week with another episode of 3 o'clock studio with the new set of existing work. Thank you.